In 1902, the city of Pune was ravaged by plague. Thousands of hapless victims lost their lives, and almost every family was afflicted with bereavement. Lokamanya Tilak, a highly respected scholar, statesman, and social reformer who also lived in Pune, lost his young son Vishwanath and two of his dear nephews, all within a week. A close friend came to offer his condolences. Indeed, this is too much, he said to the great philosopher and thinker. To lose three young men in one go is too much for anyone to bear. Lokamanya Tilak responded, "It seems that the Lord of Death is lighting a holy fire to which every family has to contribute its share. How can we fail to give our share? This is the will of God, and we must accept it." So, in the story, we see how Lokmanya Tilak managed to keep his balance of mind during a time which, for almost anybody, would have been incredibly hard to bear, losing three young members of his family. And the main point of the story is the power of acceptance. In my understanding, acceptance is the foundation of all healing. Without acceptance, we are always in the state of resistance. What should have been, what could have been, what would have been. And this always keeps us off our balance. So when Lokmanya Tilak says it is the will of God and we must accept it, I want to say a little bit more about this because not everyone believes in God as an entity, and that's all right. My definition of God is the grand overall design. And that's not different from the truth or the way it is. Or you could say the totality, like the experience you and I are having in this moment, you would have to acknowledge, is supported by the totality. The totality of everything that's happening in the universe is in some way contributing to this experience, isn't it? From the subatomic to the cosmic, it takes everything to create anything. Another way of saying this is it takes the whole ocean to create a single wave. It takes the whole universe to grow a single grain of rice. So I found this to be a powerful perspective, that we don't just look at the so-called terrible things that happen to us as a personal misfortune. Instead, we see it in a more impersonal way. And what's that? It is what it is, and that's the way it is. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. Pain is part of life. Suffering is our resistance to life. How things should be, could be, would be. The Buddha says that as it is we have one dart, the dart of pain. Why add the second dart, the dart of suffering? Pain is always bearable. Suffering is always unbearable. I found it fascinating, even from people who had been tortured, who were interviewed later on. They said the hardest thing was not what happened to them. It was the thought of what will happen next, or the thought of the way life used to be. That was the hardest. So pain is always bearable. Suffering is always unbearable because suffering is based on imagination. So it is the will of God and we must accept it. Acceptance is the foundation of all healing. So today, can we accept the weather? Can we accept the traffic? Can we accept whatever we get to eat, even if we are not completely enamored by its taste? Can we accept the events that occur in our life today? And more than anything, can we accept the present with all its thoughts and feelings and emotions and experiences, just the way it is? It is a tiny reflection of the totality. In this way, we find that every experience turns out to be a permutation of bliss. A permutation of bliss, which means just another flavor of bliss. Any experience experienced fully, completely, totally is blissful. What is bliss? An experience experienced without resistance. Fully and totally, just for what it is. And acceptance is the key to that.